The Honourable Trevor Khan.
Thank you, Madam President. Madam President, during the last 3 sitting weeks, I have been identifying the significant water issues that impact upon the Tamworth electorate. The failure of this state Labor government to continue with the augmentation of Chaffey Dam and the failure of this state Labor government to provide adequate funds for the repair of the Somerton Bridge are just two of the very important issues for the Tamworth electorate. I now want to bring to the House's attention the issue of Barraba and its desperate need for water. Again, this combines the recurring theme of the failure of the state Labor government to provide the funding for infrastructure in the Tamworth electorate. Barraba is a town located in the northern part of the electorate and contains approximately 1,200 people. The water supply for this town is usually taken from the Manila River, the Barraba Creek and the Connors Creek Dam, but due to the drought, the town has consistently had to rely upon bore water, water that is not of a high quality and allows only 400 kilolitres to be drawn down each day. This amount of water is barely enough for the town to survive on, let alone allow itself to promote the town as a place for development, tourism or just a great place to live. Tamworth Regional Council and the people of Barraba all agree that the best supply of water is a 28-kilometre pipeline from the Split Rock Dam. This dam, which was built in 1988, contains a draw valve in the wall, which was in preparation for a pipeline to Barraba. An initiative was seen back then, but it would seem not now. The annual water demand of Barraba would represent less than 0.06% of the dam's capacity. This amount would hardly affect the dam's available water, but would, if pumped to Barraba, make a significant difference to that community. In March 2004, the newly amalgamated Tamworth Regional Council, which included the town of Barraba, made an application to the Country Towns Water and Sewerage Supply Fund. Investigations were subsequently undertaken to establish all possible avenues for the supply of water to the town. At the end of 2007, the then Minister responsible for water, Phil Koperberg, wrote to Tamworth Regional Council stating that he would examine a $10 million proposal for the pipeline to commence. Since that time, there has been nothing but shirking away by this state Labor government from the responsibility of providing a decent water supply for the town. This state Labor government continued to push for extensive testing of bore water, which has proven time and time again that there is simply not sufficient amount to supply the town, that it is affecting pressure from existing bores on surrounding properties, and that the taste and quality of the water is below drinking standards. The cost has now reached $20 million. Tamworth Regional Council have pressed this issue with not only the state Labor government but the federal government as well. The Tamworth Regional Council has allocated $10 million towards the cost of the pipeline in its forward estimates, but still there has been no commitment from this state Labor government. When this issue was raised federally by Senator John Williams at a budget estimate hearing, it was stated that the $7 billion for the Infrastructure Australia funding had already been allocated. Barraba continues to miss out. Funding from the Country Towns Water Supply Fund has also failed. Funding from Infrastructure Australia has failed. How long can this state Labor government continue to ignore a town in their state that is fast running out of water? The Barraba community continues to be affected by this situation. When I recently travelled to Barraba with the Shadow Minister for Natural Resources, Katrina Hodgkinson, it was reaffirmed again, and my position is that this is of vital importance, one that just cannot continue to exist. Barraba will continue as a viable town in the northwest and thrive if there is sufficient water supply. But at the moment, that bright future is under threat. If this state Labor government is committed to the New South Wales economy, if this government is really serious about ensuring that each and every citizen has access to clean, clear water, then the Barraba community would not have to wait any longer. It is time for the problem to be resolved. It is time for this state Labor government to meet the commitment of the Tamworth Regional Council and allocate appropriate funding.